Hey guys, hopefully everyone is doing well. Today's target is to understand financial statements. It would include two different sides. One side would be used for calculation of profit or loss in the business, and second side would be for calculation of balance sheet. For that purpose, as you can see, we have divided this performa into two parts. We have our left side and we have our right side. This left side we will fix for the calculation of profit and loss. Here we will make profit loss statement. There you will calculate how much profit a firm have earned or how much profit is facing. On the other hand, right side would be used for making balance sheet of the business, which will include two major parts. Upper side would be used to demonstrate our assets, and the lower part would be used for calculation of liability side. Now please understand, here we have two parts. Over here I have told you this part used for calculation of profit loss, and this part would be used for calculation and demonstration of balance sheet. Now you can see that we will further divide left page into two parts and right page also into two parts. Here this is first part of balance sheet. Just to make it easy for you to understand, I am dividing it in different colors. You can understand well. So this balance sheet upper part, and here the lower part of balance sheet, we can use a little bit different color. So balance sheet has been divided into two parts. Please understand, this is upper part and this part would be used for assessment of assets in the business. So this part we will use for calculation of assets, and lower part we will use for calculation of all liabilities. So here you will calculate the liabilities. Now please understand that these liabilities will be calculated at lower part, and assets we will calculate on upper part of this balance sheet. So what we have done, right page we have divided into two parts. Upper part would be used to demonstrate asset, lower part would be used to write all liabilities of the business. In this way you can see that we have divided right page into two parts. In the similar way, when you will see left page, upper part would also be divided, left page would be divided into two parts, and this part would be used for calculation of all those elements which are associated directly. So here you will mention direct side, where you will write two main elements. Please, I need your attention. Here you will write all direct expenses and indirect expenses. This side would be used for calculation of direct income. This side we will mention direct elements associated with the business, and at lower side, this side we will use for demonstration of indirect elements associated with the business. Further, we will see what are indirect or direct sides. Right now, we have created four different parts of our statement. This is for indirect side of the business. Direct side mean all those elements which are closely and directly associated with the business. For example, if you are doing the business of bakery, so expenses which are associated directly with the baking, you will have per side. Expenses which are directly associated with your bakery items, you will write over there. And if there are expenses or income not directly associated with baking but they are important for the business, you will mention over here. Now you can see that we have written profit and loss statement. So both, if there is profit or loss, you will be mentioning this profit and loss over here. How you can calculate profit? It's very simple to understand. At first, you will see how much income the business is earning. Let's say the business have earned 10 rupees as your income. Further, you will see how much expense business is doing. Let's say the business is doing 8 rupees as an expense. So final result, you will see that business has earned a profit of 2 rupees. So this is the simplest way in which you can calculate profit or loss. Now why direct side? It means you will write all of your direct income directly earned from your business. So here you will mention your direct income, and beside this you will mention your direct expenses. Let's say we are doing business of cloth merchant. So income you will earn directly from cloth merchandising. You will write that income over here, and all those expenses which you are making in cloth merchandising, those expenses would be written over here. Difference of this income or expense would be your profit or loss. Like we have given an example where expenses are less, income is more. It means it's your profit. On the other hand, if your income is 6 while your expense is 8, which is showing that it's your loss. So here you can mention 2 rupees is your loss. You may put sign of minus or you may put bracket, but ultimately if your income is less, expenses are more, it means it's your loss. Now for direct income, what elements you will write? Direct income means you will sell your commodities, and finally this sale would be considered as your income. But please keep it in your mind, if there are any returns, that means sales return, you may call it sales return, or if there is any discount, if there is any discount, I would mention over here discount on sales, so you will mention over here. Finally what you will do, I am going to illustrate it as well so that you can understand where you will put the amount. Once again, here you will write the amount of sales, just supposing that that amount is to be written over here. Then you will subtract all returns, discounts over here, and finally the net sales or total income you will write at this column. In this way, what you have done, your total income would be calculated. That means how much amount you are earning through sales. Final amount you will be putting over here. Now next step is to see how much is your direct expense. For that purpose, you will see expense is what? How much cost of that sale is. I'm repeating, how much cost of that sale is. How you will calculate the cost? The main cost would be your purchase. But here I would like to mention that purchase is not the only thing. You will add all associated direct expenses upon purchase. Now we will make a list of those direct expenses, and I will be using lower size of fonts. So mainly we will try to write all those expenses over here. Please note it down. This was your heading. Here direct expenses and direct incomes would be mentioned. Main direct expense is purchase, and then you will add direct expenses. Direct expenses, those expenses which you have made to make your purchase well, and expenses upon maintaining that purchase. This would include direct expenses. First example is your carriage, then freight, octroi, duty, then railway charges. Beside this, we will have power, then gas, coal tar. So these are by nature, these are two different direct expenses. At this stage, we can only write few of expenses. It would not be possible to mention all direct expenses. So here we have just created few of the examples related to direct expenses. Now I need again your attention how you will write these expenses in your performance. At this stage, only two items would be appeared in third column. First item we have completed, that is total income or sales. Now here direct expenses, which include two type of direct expenses. First raw material, and then two different types of direct expenses including carriage, freight, octroi, duty and charges. Again I need your attention here. For purchasing stock, you will write opening stock. If it is present in the question, you will add purchases and then you will subtract your closing stock. A statement would be appeared over here, less size. I am going to mention these expenses: opening stock plus purchases minus closing stock. After calculation of these three, you will get one amount, and you will make a list of all these transportation expenses and power expenses. Some you will write over here, and these direct expenses would be added. Please note it down. All these direct expenses would be added over here, and finally you will get one more statement. This would be opening stock plus purchases minus closing stock, first amount, and then sum of all direct expenses you will write over here. Finally, you will get total cost of production. So here you will write total cost of production, and over here our final statement will be made one more row so that we can calculate it. Okay, over here what we have done, there were two different items we have written over here. Alright guys, let me take these three items at outside, and then the lower side we will see the difference. Once again you can see we have calculated our direct income, posted over here. Direct expenses, all sum of these items would be written over here. The difference of these two, total of direct income and total of direct expense. Again, it would be easier for you. Here, you will calculate your profit. If your income is more than, this is your income. If it is more than your expense, that would be called your profit. But please understand, here is the stage where you will calculate your profit. I need to put a line, that would be a bottom line, and after this you will calculate your profit. Your profit would be appearing over here, and this may be your profit or may be your loss. So gross profit or loss. Now you people will be wondering how we will come to know whether it's a profit or it's a loss. Simple is this: if your income is more than your expense, this is your income. If it is more than that of your cost, then it would be your profit. If it is, if let's say your expenses are more than your income, expenses more than your income, that would be considered your loss. In this way, guys, we will complete our first part where gross profit or gross loss would be calculated. After that, we will be focusing upon our indirect side. Under this, we will see all operating expenses over here. Operating expenses means expenses which you will be doing to operate your business. This would include your rental charges, salaries, taxes, insurance. Then you may have, I'm just decreasing the size so that we can write mainly more expenses over here. So then you may have your administrative expenses, then marketing expenses. Beside this, all those expenses which are not having any concern with your production. So similarly, utility charges, some more example I'm going to put. Utility charges, that means your bills, maybe electricity, maybe for telephone charges. Here I will write it to the other side. Telephone charges. Beside this, if you are paying expenses related to your staff, which would be your salaries or commission you have paid, and then there might be some office expenses. Office expenses. These office expenses may include stationery, and beside this, if you are giving any expense related to travel, etc. So guys, in this way, we have tried to write all those expenses are indirectly associated with the business. These are called operating expenses. What you will do, you will make a list over here, all these different types of expenses, and finally the sum of these expenses you will be writing over here. Now please note it down. Gross profit or loss was already calculated and you were now related with your indirect side. Different operating expenses you have written over here, and after that you will write all operating expenses. We need to make little more space, and here I am going to create it. So in this way, all indirect or operating expenses you will write here. After which, difference of one line, you will be adding your operating income. This operating income will include the income you are getting from your business, but that income which is indirectly associated. For example, if you are receiving your rent, here we will write rent receive, and this income you will calculate over here, and finally the sum of this income would be put over here. So this is your indirect side where operating expenses and operating income you have written. Beside this, there are two more items. Here you will mention your other expenses, and here you will mention your other income. Mainly we have written all our expenses. I'm going to increase the size, and this would be your other expenses and other income. Other expenses including discount allowed, interest paid, and other income will include discount received, interest received. You will calculate sum of all other expenses over here, and finally this sum would be put at this side. Then you will calculate sum of all other income and you will put sign over here. Once again, I need you to see it again. Direct income, direct expenses, difference would be your profit. After this, indirect side would be appearing, and over here there are two different type of expenses, two different type of incomes. In indirect side, you have operating expenses, operating income, other expenses, and other income. You will be calculating these. Now please be attentive. You will subtract. This less is very important. All expenses would be subtracted. All incomes would be added. So here you will put add. As I've told you, either it's other expense or it's operating expense, you will subtract, and if it is operating income or other income, you will add. So guys, final stage have arrived. At this stage, what you will do, please understand, I'm going to write it from upper part. This is your gross profit. Please be attentive. This is your gross profit, after which you will follow these things. You will subtract all operating expenses. These are operating expenses. You will subtract. You will add your operating income. This is your income. Then other expenses, other income would be subtracted and added. 1, 2, 3, and 4 sums would be adjusted in this gross profit. So gross profit, and then these 4 items would be adjusted and finally you will get one answer. That answer would be your final profit. Here you calculate your final profit, and this profit would be called your net profit or net loss. Once again, I'm telling you, this is your gross profit. In this gross profit, four sums would be adjusted. All expenses would be subtracted. Once again, all expenses would be subtracted if it is operating expense or it is other expense. These would be subtracted, and all incomes, either if it is operating income or other income, that would be added. Sum of these all four elements would be presented in third column, and finally after adding or subtracting these four items you will get your net profit or loss. So guys, in this way our left side would be completed. On asset side, you will first mention your fixed assets. Fixed assets means those assets which you will have for the longer period of time, like you will have machine, land, building, fixtures, furnitures, motor car, trucks, and etc. Beside this, you will write your current assets over here in second column. Current assets, those assets which you will have for the shorter period of time. This will include cash, bank, debtors, account receivable. Okay, we will use second line. Account receivable or account or notes receivable, bill receivable, you will write over here. Okay, let me put all receivables over here. You may have account receivable or notes receivable or bills receivable. If it is receivable, no matter if it is account, notes or bill, that would be your current assets. And then finally you will write investments. In this way you will have several fixed assets. You will write their sum over here. Final sum would be put outside. Similarly, you will have several current assets. Their sum you will put outside, and then you will have your investment. Their sum you will put over here. Finally, you will have three amounts in third column. When you will get three sums, you will be now ready to calculate total sum of assets at this stage. So sum of fixed asset, sum of current assets, and investment. This would be your total sum of assets. Again, there will be several fixed assets. You will take sum and will write in the third column. There will be several current assets. You will take sum and will write on the third column. If there are investment, you will take sum and will write on third column. So sum of these three elements would be considered total of asset side. In the similar way, you will write fixed liabilities over here. Fixed liabilities would include your capital. You will add net profit, or you will subtract loss. Capital, add net profit, and then you will subtract drawings from here. A sum you will write over here, final answer, fixed liabilities. Here you will be writing capital, or then you will add net profit, drawings would be subtracted, final sum would be put over here. This would be sum of your fixed liabilities. Then you will write your current liabilities. Current liabilities means you are liable to pay within shorter period of time. This would include notes or bills or account payables. Then you will write creditors or short-term loan. So finally what you will do, you will write sum of these items over here. Finally grand total would be written at this column. Over here we need a little more space. Let's create a last item related to liabilities. You will put over here, and that would be reserves. All type of reserves which are considered your liability, you will write over here. Then final sum would be presented over here. You can see that there were three totals: sum of or total of fixed asset, total of current asset, total of investment, and grand total of these three elements would be total asset. In the similar way, you will have sum of all fixed liabilities, sum of all current liabilities, sum of all reserves. You will have three sums over here. After that, one more line we will create at this stage, and at last of the column you will take sum of fixed liabilities, current liabilities, and reserves, and you will mention over here at this place. This would be sum of fixed, current liabilities and reserve. This sum would exactly be equalizing to sum of all assets. Alright guys, here you can see that this sum of all assets, and this sum of all liabilities would automatically be equalized. So guys, in this way we have completed the Performa. I would like to show you a glimpse in one. This is our Performa. There are four parts. This is direct side, indirect side. This is your balance sheet where you will put your asset and liabilities. This whole Performa is considered to be your financial statement. It is humbly requested to please note it down, make Performa. And after making Performa, if you feel anything difficult, you are very open to share your problem through messages, text, or you can directly communicate your problem. I will be trying my best to answer your question. But I'm again humbly requesting to please write Performa and understand it well. When we will solve our questions, it would be better and easier for you to understand this Performa in a proper manner. But for the time being, I am requesting you to understand the difference of these four sides plus what headings we have put over here. Alright guys, thank you very much for your time. It's time to end our lecture. We will see you soon again for problem solving. So thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.